Hello everybody and welcome to the show! This is where we will take a look at new action figures, old action figures, and together, we will make them better. First up we have here, the Brute from Final Faction. There's the little read-up that comes out with every single one of these characters, and there's the rest that you can collect. And there's the bio about the show, and there's where you can watch it. So all of that on the back of the packaging, that's awesome. They even have a place for you to cut it out and everything. How terrific. Then when we flip it around, we can see there's our Brute inside. Now all of these Final Faction action figures can be found at your local Dollar Tree. So why don't we go ahead and get this Brute out of the package and take a look. And we're back! Nice to see you, Brute. Here's the cool packaging that he was covering up. Really nice artwork. Very great detail that comes into these action figures. Additional weapon packs sold separately. Hey, we might take a look at those one day. But for now, let's take a look at the Brute himself. This is such a tremendous sculpt, if you really ask me. I mean, the first thing when I saw this, I thought of monsters or demons or something. But in reality, if you looked at the back, they're aliens. These are all aliens that live in our moon. And they've come back to Earth after they've been awakened after, whatever, thousands of years or whatnot. And now they're going to take all our resources. And who's going to stop them? I don't know. I guess we have to watch the show to find out. But this Brute in the show is kind of a moron, right? Makes sense. Okay, not a big head, but got a big heart. But these antlers or tusks or fangs or mandibles, I don't even know what you'd call them, but they're tremendous. And then you can see he's got a couple extra spikes there on his forehead. You can see his eyes are painted in a little bit. Yeah, the sculpting on these guys are amazing. Back is full of folds or muscles. I don't even know. I don't know what this guy's supposed to be. But look at his legs. Yeah, most of the Karn, that's what these alien races are called, they have these shaped legs, almost chicken or dinosaur-like, or monster-like, I don't know. But this guy's sculpted out the wazoo. I mean, just his legs alone, look at all that. Look at all the little detail, almost like scales, or, yeah, it's just awesome. You can see his legs and his feet. And then for stability reasons, they just give him one little flat platform, but it looks like he's got individual toes there. So I'm not sure if that's, And that's the cool thing about them being aliens. They can kind of be whatever they want, right? There's no way to say, well, that doesn't make sense. Why would it be like that? Well, because he's an alien, that's why. Why does he have tusks jutting out of his face? Well, he's an alien. They need him for alien reasons. Alright, so that's the sculpt. Let's go ahead and move on to the articulation. Now, since this is a Final Faction action figure, the articulation is going to be pretty much the same as it is on all the others. So, the only difference is since the Brute's head is more on, the front of his chest rather than the top of his neck, he can swivel like this. But that's about it. There's no turning, no nothing. It's just a little head swivel. It can swivel just like that. So if you wanted to, I'm sure you could do something like that and even paint that face. And now they really are horns. That's incredible. Just a simple little swivel of the head and you got a whole new action figure. The arms, both sides, they just swivel 360. And then the legs, you can kick out pretty far. I think that it's past 90, if you ask me. Let's get the arm out of the way. Yeah, that's awesome. Same on both sides. So that's all for the articulation. Now, let's move on to the accessories. The Brute, being as thick as he is, only comes with one accessory. And this looks to be some sort of gun or sword, knife, blade thing. Again, it's an alien, so it can be anything. This thing could make you waffles if you'd like it, but who knows? If you watch the show, it looks like it shoots things. Yeah, so that's pretty good. Just one piece of, I guess, grayish black plastic. It might even be... No, different. I thought it might have been just the same kind of purple, just a little bit thicker, but no. Those are two different plastics. So that's all he comes with for accessory-wise. Let's go ahead and compare him to some heights so that you can see how he would fit into your scale. Because this guy is awesome. This guy would make a great monster character for so many things. So let's start off with Star Wars, the Vintage Collection, right? Since he's an alien, these guys deal with aliens, okay? The Dollar Tree, or the Final Faction is a 4-inch line. So you can see that they fit pretty well with your Vintage Collection Star Wars action figures. Huffer, I believe, from Transformers. Let's see. Let's straighten these guys out so that they look a little bit better. I have the little sword attachment that comes together when you get all the core class action figures. Yeah, you can see how they pair up. It looks like Huffer's taller than him. He comes up to about his shoulder. Okay, and this is a small deluxe from Transformers. DC Spin Master villains. Okay, you've got Deathstroke, and then you've got Bane. Ooh, and I'm not getting them to stand at all. They can usually stand pretty well. I'm not sure what the issue is here. Oh, wow. So you just want to act up on camera, do you, boy? Well, that's not going to work out. But you can see him stand next to Deathstroke. Again, Deathstroke is about to his shoulder at this point. And then if him and Bane are having a face-off, you can see Bane's just a little bit taller. If the Brute, if his head would be on, on his shoulders, kind of where it would be on a person, the Brute would be taller. But right now, Bane's just a smidgel taller. We got a Dragon Star's first form, Frieza, again another alien. This guy seems a little too big though. Doesn't really seem like they would fit in well. Dragon Stars is a pretty big sized figure. Even Frieza, he's supposed to be small, but he's pretty large when you compare him to other toy lines. Okay. Speaking of larger toy lines, let's go ahead and look at a G.I. Joe classified series. And he's so much taller than him that he's not even in the frame. We're going to have to zoom out a little bit. Okay, and then let's put him next to a customized pumpkin wrapper. I thought his head was way too big for his body and it was super annoying, so I gave him a new head. And you can see there that the Brute is pretty much dwarfed by these 6-inch action figures. And that's okay because this is a 4-inch line. So let's see how he stacks up with someone else from Final Faction. This is Sergeant Steadfast in his cyborg accessory armor. And it looks like with the accessory pack, it looks like Sergeant Steadfast's cannon goes just about to where the shoulder is. I know it looks like he's much taller. That's probably just from the angle of the camera here. See, that looks a little bit closer to real life. So they're about the same size with the added boost of his cyborg accessory pack. And then we also have Ruck in his Rampage armor. That looks pretty cool. Having these two guys have to face off. That's awesome. So it looks like Ruck's a little bit taller with, his machine gun and his missile pods and whatnot. But from the tips of their heads, they're about the same exact height. So that's really cool. So it looks like the Final Faction are using, accessories and armors to kind of match up to the heavy hitters of the Karn. Okay, so that was all of our fun comparisons. So next up, we're going to move on to possible improvements of this figure. This is $1.25 at Dollar Tree. This is awesome for $1.25. The only thing I would say is genuinely holding this thing back is articulation. Everything else is there. Even the paint, some people I've heard complaining about how sloppy it is or whatever. But I think the paint that they add usually accents the action figure. It's only on the chest on this one. but still it makes it look more, it makes it stand out more. It makes it gloss and shiny and almost looks slimy. And that's kind of what I think the Karn are going for, this kind of weird texture, slimy, creepy monster thing. And they pull it off very well. So that would be the only thing I would do to make these action figures better, is try to increase their articulation. So here we have my version of the new and improved Brute. Okay? So it's the same action figure that we just saw, came with the same accessory, everything, but you can see here the arms are different. They're more relaxed. The legs are wider stanced, right? And that's because I've went in there and I've tried to add just a touch of articulation. You know, now he's able to move his arms out a little bit, get a bit of a bend in the elbow. Not much, nothing crazy. But, yeah, I think that actually helped out a lot, in my opinion. Because now you can get him looking almost, you know, a little tougher, a little more menacing than if you just had him on your shelf or wherever you like to store these guys, just kind of standing like that. Because there's not much you can really do when it's only a 5 POA. But this is a kid's toy line, you know, can't really complain. But what we can do is try to make things better together. So thanks for watching. I hope you all had a wonderful time. I hope you all have a nice chuckle. And remember, go be nice to somebody. See you next time.